hours a day. The average child's over 6. The average video game player is an additional 3+. I mean, the numbers change each year. It gets worse. That's the numbers are a few years old. I should look up the latest numbers. But I've seen numbers of some people that watch up to 14 hours a day of TV or video games combined. It is insane, and they are in a dreamlike state, and they repeat whatever they see on television, thinking that makes them smart. It's only one echelon of people that even watch the news, and they think they're smart just for watching it, and they will regurgitate what they heard like they're showing off that they're smart. Still others that don't even watch the news, they just get the messages from TV. That's why the dramas, the sitcoms, the fiction is just laced anti-family, you name it, anti-gun. And for those of us that are awake, it's like watching clowns on PCP like lemmings run off the edge of a cliff. Go ahead.
Well, people tell me things like, well, I don't let it control me. I only watch certain things to get this information or that. And, they've never read stuff like Edward Bernays' information. And I don't think any of us are smarter than them. They've been practicing this for over 100 years. You're trying to, it's like trying to outsmart the devil.
No, exactly. You've just got to know it's super dangerous and they're a bunch of liars. Listen, I track what they do constantly, and it's such a spaghetti of deception. It's like a cauldron that they're not even in control. They're like riding the beast, just like the Bible says. The New World Order is like a whore riding the out-of-control beast. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. I think people really need to turn that thing off. I stopped watching it years ago. Of course, I did in increments. First, I stopped watching the news around Clinton when Clinton was president because he was lying all the time. And I ended. I don't watch that thing anymore. I get my information from the internet. I read a lot. I think people need to read more. You can't really judge anything, and you have to read a lot of different things. If you just read one thing, you're going to get one opinion.
Well, what's going to happen is over time, you're going to learn who's lying on purpose, who does an overall good job but makes some mistakes. That's what we do. Who tells the truth but puts a spin on it. And, you learn where people stand just by watching what they do. By their fruits, you will know them. And for anybody who sits there, I saw some so-called libertarian leader yesterday, I've never even heard of, at the Porcupine Fest, say, don't engage in conspiracy theories. And then they defined conspiracy theories as thinking the government tries to take power or do corrupt things. And I'm like, well, what moron in any culture doesn't know you better keep the government under control or it'll grow out of control like cancer? And it just shows how over the top everything's gotten and just how desperate the power structure is to try to get people back into trust in the system. Look, the general public doesn't trust the system anymore. They just feel powerless and don't pay attention, and so really aren't in the game. We've got to get people in the game to realize you're not going to have to save the world by yourself. You've got to do just little things that will bring down the New World Order together, all of us doing little things. Good to hear from you. I appreciate your call, Lawrence. We'll get to Chris, Bob, Ray, Jason, and others after our guest joins us, or you can hang up if you don't want to sit on hold for 40 minutes or something. But I want to hear what you have to say, so stay with us. And we're going to get into undoubtedly the best film I've ever seen documenting the fact that they know vaccines are killing and maiming people and covering it up. This is the film to give everybody who's on the fence about vaccine their kids.
You've heard Alex explain.
For all the bad things that are happening, it's a cycle throughout history of tyranny comes in, the people get oppressed, they fight back, people get morals again because they realize morals are about survival and taking care of your children. Then people become decadent because once you have liberty, you get plenty. You become decadent over a few generations, corruption creeps back in, and then tyranny comes back in, and the cycle happens over and over again. And we've entered a very dangerous point in the cycle right now where the power structure realizes the pendulum wants to swing back towards freedom and truth and decency and honor and quality and beauty. And so they're trying to push it back the other way. We're in a fight here. Now, For the next 30 minutes or so, then I'm going to go to your phone calls. We are joined by a filmmaker, and you know, this came in a few months ago before it was officially coming out, and Weldon said, hey, do you want to carry this? It's a new vaccine film. And I said, we already carry some presentations by Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, who's, by the way, in this. We already carry some books. And he said, okay. He watched it. He said, I think you need to watch this. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, plus big film festivals. It's The Greater Good, and it is a film, by the way, that we carry at Infowars.com, so you support us and the filmmakers when you get it, and get a free citizen rule book. This is something you should give to every school library. Donate it to every public library. You want to fight the New World Order, folks. That's a great way of getting my films, other people's films. I authorize you to make copies of my films, by the way. Just libraries won't tend to take them, though, if it's a bad copy. But side issue, the point is, you know, a bad-looking cover because they think it's bootlegged or something. We allow you to bootleg, but they won't. Side issue. The point is you should air these on Access Television. You should give it to people that you see that have children. If you have neighbors, you see that the woman is pregnant. I can't help it. I see pregnant women now in grocery stores, even with their husband, and I'll come over and I'll say, man, isn't it great? I've got 3 children. Hey, you might want to look into vaccines, because they even tell pregnant women to take vaccines now. And until 4 years ago, they always said don't take them because of autoimmune problems and miscarriages. And a lot of times they go, yeah, we heard that it was always bad to take shots. My sister's a nurse. This just happened about a week ago, the lady said. And she says until a few years ago, they said don't take them, but now they're saying we should, but she's saying I shouldn't. Thank you. And if somebody does say, hey, mind your own business, I've never had that happen, just say, okay, I warned you. And again, that's not getting in somebody's business. If you know that until about 3.5, 4 years ago, there was a big PR rollout saying, especially pregnant women, all the inserts before, and by the way, they still say it, said don't take this when you're pregnant. And then now they say, well, talk to your physician. Because they've always known this. I mean, doctors, nurses listening, they're like, yeah, that's always been the case. Again, the system is fleeing forward in that they know there's massive opposition. The media admits that. They admit all these medical people are coming out. All this is unfolding. And so their answer is, well, they've got national maps. The higher educated area of the country, the lower the vaccine rates. And the news says these wealthy, well-to-do, college-educated people have gone crazy. No, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone from 1 in 25,330-something years ago with autism to 1 in 58 now. And it's a cocktail of things. But the point is, this stuff is deadly. And it's not just the mercury that goes by the blood-brain barrier because it's directly injected into the body. It's the adjuvants. Dr. Blaylock, brain surgeon, and others have broken down. And they have studies on this. They know. Enough of me, because I want to give her at least 30, 40 minutes before we go to your calls. It's just that I want you to understand this is show life and death, and this is finally the tool. Just like A Noble Lie is great to expose false flag terror, finally a high-quality professional film with all the police officers and witnesses about Clinton carrying out that attack. A Noble Lie available at Infowars.com. Finally, we have The Greater Good available at InfoWarsShop.com. Get it out to everyone you know. Also, greatergoodmovie.org. But again, InfoWarsShop.com. It's won all these big international and national film festivals. I won't even try to go over them. It won the big doc in NYC. That's coveted. The Dallas Film Festival, the big official one. It won the Cinematic Vision Award, 2011 Amsterdam Film Festival. It just goes on and on. The point is it takes years to go through the film process, so now it's finally available on DVD. This film's amazing. Here's the trailer. The trailer's up at Infowars.com if you're a radio listener, but here for the full audience is the video/audio of the trailer for The Greater Good. This has to be in the hands of every nurse, every doctor. Force them morally to face what's happening. Every family getting ready to have children, you need to see The Greater Good. Very well produced. Key testimony about the cover-up, the fact they know it's killing and maiming people consciously. The CDC's own documents. This is the proof. Here is the trailer.
2 years ago, a vaccine completely changed my life. I would do anything to get my life back to normal.
History teaches us how effective vaccines are.
Vaccines are the best choice for almost all children.
I don't think it's that black and white.
Vaccines in some way have been a victim of their own success.
The government, they're trying to protect society, but these motivations interfere with, safety issues.
In the last 3 decades, the numbers of doses of vaccines have more than tripled.
We are seeing a rise in the number of children with disabilities.
What if these shots that are supposed to protect kids actually hurt your child?
After the shots, I started getting sick. I've had 2 strokes, partial paralysis, partial vision, and I'm having seizures.
I would have never dreamt that this was a side effect of a vaccine.
Many of these have the potential to be neurotoxic.
The research is incomplete, and the certainty is not scientific.
A number of prescription drugs that have been licensed as safe have been found to be unsafe.
For the social fabric, it is better to insist on vaccination than to allow free rein.
The people who are approving the vaccines are taking the word of the pharmaceutical companies. The majority of vaccine research is paid for by the vaccine manufacturers themselves.
We're the only country other than New Zealand that allows advertising on TV for pharmaceutical drugs.
You can't sue the drug company that made the vaccine.
That's not science, that's politics.
Texas Governor Rick Perry has ordered that schoolgirls must get the Gardasil shot.
We can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way.
The only thing that we oppose is forced vaccination.
Sadly, some people don't do what's best for their children unless it's mandated.
We're not zealots. We're not some people that are looking for a conspiracy or a fight.
The vaccine program, it's one size fits all.
We worry about the future.
You could have 30, 40, 50 different vaccines mandated and absolutely no accountability. You have a prescription for disaster.
I have a child, and then I follow the rules, and I damage this child. That's hard for me to understand.
I just want everybody to lay down their arms and figure out what is making them so sick.
The greater good, available at InfoWarsShop.com. But again, it goes from the perspective of showing both sides. That's what makes it so effective. But here's the issue. They have the clips that I talked about 4 years ago in Maryland where they said, it's the law, you'll be arrested if you don't take shots, with all the black people, like it's a concentration camp, being herded in to be shot up with darking police dogs. And I got the state attorney who says that on my show. He started laughing and admitting it wasn't the law and that he doesn't give his kids the shots. Like it was cute and cool. And they've got that clip from years ago I couldn't find in the film. That's why it's so powerful. All right, I've given you the pitch. Get it out to everybody. This is coffin nails to their lies. And I will say what the film doesn't. I have all the Rockefeller documents, the sterilant in it, the cancer viruses. It's on purpose, okay? It's that simple. The Rockefellers took over medicine 80, 90 years ago. They funded Hitler, Kaiser Wilhelm Institute. It's eugenics. Better learn about it. Better find out. Then they sell you the treatments that they control as well. All right. I want to go to Leslie, who is our guest, Leslie Manookian, and she is the writer of the film and producer. I know that's a big intro with me ranting. We're going to go to break here in a few minutes, but you've got the floor. Tell us about this film and any comments about my points I just made.
Well, thank you so much for the fantastic introduction and for having me on the show, Alex. It's really a pleasure to be here. I couldn't agree with you more that this is one of the most important issues that we face today on the planet. And, you talk about the really cavalier attitude of this public health official saying that, he doesn't give them to his own kids, but he's rounding up literally 2,000 families for not giving their kids chickenpox vaccine or something like that. And I think we all really have to ask ourselves, what have we come to? Where are we? And are these policies based on sound science? Have these compounds that we're injecting into our 12-hour-old infants safe? Is there a reason to be doing this? And I think the answer to all those questions is really that the science doesn't support it, that the science isn't there,